Okay guys, we are back for yet another video in our Back to Church video series. We are talking about how to reconnect with the church after you've experienced a hurt within a church setting. We've already talked about the importance of finding healing outside of the church first, not being afraid to go to counseling, not being afraid to address those issues outside of the church in a safe space so that you could reintegrate into the church and be ready, for what you might encounter during that process. In the second video, we addressed the question, should I go to my old church or should I go somewhere new? And we talked about considerations, things to think about whenever you're considering whether to return to the church where you experienced that hurt or whether you should, just start fresh and new in a new place. And today, in video number 3, the tip is a soft entry is everything. A soft entry is everything. It's so important not to just dive in. That is because it can be risky to do so. It's important to take your time as you integrate into a church after you've experienced some type of hurt. For one, you may still be fragile. You may still be in the healing process. So it's important to just take your time and slowly work your way back in. First thing is go in with boundaries and caution. Especially if you decided to move on with a new church. Again, go back to our Healthy Church series and see some tips for seeing if that church is right for you. But it will ultimately take time. Many times when you've experienced hurt in one church, you have this honeymoon period with the new church. And it causes you to want to jump in, just all systems go, 2 feet, not looking back, no, with no caution. And that could put you more at risk because what happens is you're not taking the time to establish your boundaries with that new place, okay? And with new people. And some people say, well, boundaries, how do you know that you need boundaries? Because we always need boundaries. It can be a safe place, but part of being safe is having proper boundaries, not just for others, but also for you. How long are you going to sit and learn the church before you serve? How personal are you going to get with the people in the church community? What kind of boundaries are you going to set for how you navigate and move through this new church environment? The next thing is know your triggers and know your fears. One thing about it, if we're not aware of our triggers, we can ultimately be caught off guard when we encounter them. And if you are just reintegrating into the church setting after recovering from some type of hurt, if you encounter a trigger and you're not ready for it, well, then you start to act out in protective mode and you get on the defense and you may inadvertently start to cause problems in your new church setting, or you may push people away, or you may go into, again, protective mode and start to operate in many defensive behaviors, which is ultimately going to hinder you from being able to integrate into this new church setting or reintegrate back into the church setting that you once were in. So be aware of what might trigger you. Be aware of what you fear. Fear automatically causes us to go into protect mode. Fear automatically causes us to go into defense mechanisms and those types of behaviors. And so you want to make sure that, first of all, you acknowledge what you're afraid of. It's very human to be afraid, but also be able to pinpoint the things that you fear and be able to pinpoint what happens to your mind, your spirit, and your body when you go into a fear mode, okay? Be aware. Self-awareness is key because you're able to properly protect yourself with healthy boundaries as opposed to defense mechanisms. And number 3, when you're entering and you're making this soft entry into either a new church setting or into a previous church setting, It's important to discuss your history with your leadership, because oftentimes leaders, especially if you were already in this church, your leaders only know you as they have known you. So it's important to go and speak with them about what you're going through and the new boundaries that you may be putting in place. Maybe you may need to go to your leader and say, hey, I know I stepped away for a while. I'm back. I know I occupied a lot of different positions in the church, but I just want you to know that because I'm still taking time to heal and to reconnect, I may not be stepping back into a serving position for the next 6 months, just to give myself time. If you're going to a new church, talk to them about your history. Hey, I've had some hurts, I've had some experiences in my past church situations, and this is how it affected me. I am working to try to heal, but these things may be hard for me at first as I'm trying to integrate into this church. It's so important to be open. It's so important to be honest. So important to communicate where you are. And again, soft entry. Don't go all in. I know. So many times we talk about going all in, put your best foot forward, 10 toes down, and that disposition is celebrated often in church. However, because of that, many people find themselves more vulnerable and they find themselves getting hurt very fast, disappointed very fast, feeling rejected very fast. And so it's much better if you pace yourself while integrating into your new church setting or reconnecting with your previous church setting, okay? I hope this has helped you guys. We are moving along. I am really enjoying this Back to Church series, and I hope that is helping you guys. If it is, I need you guys to let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going, and I want you guys to be on the lookout and stay tuned for video 4. We're going to keep it rolling, all right? Y'all have a good one.